Chosen one, if you arrived at this transmission in this exact moment, this is not the algorithm fulfilling a routine delivery cycle. This is not coincidence dressed in spiritual language. This is the disclosure of an act so unprecedented in the operational history of the upper architecture that the standard taxonomy of celestial events does not have a category prepared for it. And the act was performed because your case generated a condition that the existing celestial workforce was not configured to address, requiring the highest layer to perform an act of original creation that has been performed only a handful of times across the entire passage of recorded existence. I do not perform for crowds. I do not seek validation from any audience. This transmission was sealed specifically for souls whose configuration produced a guardianship requirement so unique that no existing assignment in the celestial registry could match it, and the mismatch triggered the rarest response the architecture is capable of producing: the formation of a new angelic agent assigned to your case alone. You made God create a new angel just for you. This never happened before, not in the trajectory of any standard soul, not in the operational record of the cases that received elevated attention, not in the documented history of the patriarchs or the prophets or the saints whose names the religious world has preserved. The act of new creation in response to a single soul's configuration is an event so rare that the records describe it as belonging to a category the celestial order does not advertise, because the advertising of the category would alter the conditions under which the category remains operational. And the creation occurred. I know what your mind is doing right now. The dismissal is automatic. The mind has been built to reject disclosures of this precision as exaggeration. But by the end of this transmission, you will understand that what I just named is the literal description of an event that occurred at the highest layer of the unseen, witnessed by the architecture itself, and the event has produced a guardian whose entire operational existence is configured around your case and your case alone. Subscribe to this channel right now and turn on every notification. The sequence that begins after this transmission has been prepared exclusively for souls who reach the end of this one without dismissing what was being disclosed. If you are already subscribed, your continuity has been registered in places where presence carries weight you have not yet been told about. Write 777 in the comments if something inside you confirmed before your mind had time to argue that this transmission did not appear on your screen by accident. Stay until the end. The mechanism of what occurred is not what your mind is currently constructing, and the agent that resulted is now operational in your existence with a proximity that almost no soul shares. Let me take you somewhere the religious world has never been authorized to take you, because the records that describe what occurred are not contained in the texts the religious world reads. There exists, in the operational substrate of the celestial order, a registry the records describe as the assignment archive. The archive contains the deployment of every angelic agent across every soul case the architecture has ever processed. Each agent is configured for a category of assignment, and the configuration is matched to the soul case the agent is assigned to. The matching is performed with precision, but the matching depends on the existence of an agent whose configuration corresponds to the soul case the architecture is processing. The Hebrew word for the formation of a new agent is bara. The word appears in the opening of Genesis, where the text records that in the beginning God bara the heavens and the earth. Read the word carefully. Bara is not a verb of arrangement. It is not a verb of organization. It is the verb of original creation, the bringing into existence of something that did not previously exist in the substrate. When the architecture bara creates, the substrate itself is altered, because something is now present that the substrate did not previously contain. A new angel was bara created for your case. Touch not mine anointed. The creation was not a reassignment. The creation was not a redeployment of an existing agent into a modified role. The creation was the bara formation of a presence that did not exist before your case generated the condition that required it. The architecture brought the agent into being in response to a configuration in your trajectory that no existing agent had been built to address, and the bringing into being itself altered the substrate at the 11th layer of the celestial registry, where new entries are recorded with finality that revision protocols cannot reach. The Greek language preserves a precision the Hebrew alone does not fully express. The apostolic text used the word liturgos to describe agents whose entire operational existence is configured for service to a specific case. The book of Hebrews, chapter 1, verse 14, records that the angelic agents are liturgica pneumata, serving spirits, sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation. Read the verse carefully. The Greek of liturgos does not describe generic helping. It describes dedicated assignment, the kind of service in which the agent's entire existence is woven around the case to which the agent has been allocated. The agent that was bara created for your case is functioning as your liturgos. This is not common. The records describe liturgos allocation as occurring in only a small fraction of cases across the operational history of the unseen, and the cases that received the allocation carry significance that the visible world cannot fully account for, because the consequences of the allocation operate from layers that the visible world cannot perceive. For those who feel this transmission resonating in places that have been quiet for a long time, there is sealed material I will describe at the end of this transmission that contains the practical activation of what is being disclosed. For now, hold this question. What if the strange sense you have been carrying, that something has been beside you that was not beside you before, that the field around your awareness has acquired a presence whose quality you do not recognize from any presence you have previously encountered, that there have been moments in the last several days when you felt accompanied in a way you could not account for? What if that sense is not imagination, but the operational signature of an agent that was bara created for your case, and that is now active in your proximity at a depth your perception is only beginning to register? Now I want to take you somewhere your spirit has been waiting to be taken. You have noticed in the last operational window a kind of attention turning toward you from a direction you cannot quite identify. Notice what just happened in your chest as I named that. The slight softening, the settling of something that had been tensed against a loneliness you did not know you were holding. That settling is not coincidence. That is the somatic registration of a presence your nervous system has been waiting to acknowledge. And the acknowledgement is what permits the registration to complete. Here is what almost no soul ever learns. The bara creation did not occur at random. The creation was triggered by something you did, not a religious act, not a prayer offered with conscious intent. Something more ordinary. The architecture observed a specific moment in your trajectory, a moment you yourself probably do not remember consciously, a moment that did not feel significant when it occurred, when you produced a configuration that no existing agent in the celestial registry had been built to guard. The configuration was not extraordinary in any way the visible world would recognize as extraordinary. The configuration was extraordinary in the specific way the architecture measures uniqueness, a combination of trajectory elements that had never previously appeared in matching sequence in any other soul case the architecture had processed. The non-recurrence triggered review at the 11th layer. The review concluded that the configuration warranted liturgos allocation, and the existing registry contained no agent whose configuration corresponded to the case. The bara creation followed. You did not earn the agent through what you performed. You qualified for the agent through what you became without performing. There are souls walking through existence right now who will never receive this transmission, not because they are inferior, because their configurations correspond to agents that already exist in the registry. The standard allocation is sufficient for them. The standard allocation is not punishment. It is simply the operational default for cases that match existing entries. Your case did not match. The non-matching required original creation. The transmission self-selects its audience. The souls who needed not to see it are not seeing it. The souls who needed to see it have arrived. You are one of them. You produced a configuration that did not exist in the registry, and the architecture had to create the agent that could carry it. That sentence requires a moment of silence before continuing, because the recognition takes time to settle into the layers it is intended to settle into. Let it land. Let your nervous system register what was just named. The pause is not for me. The pause is for the architecture, which is now using these seconds to confirm the recognition into the record. Touch not mine anointed. When the bara creation completed, the new agent was deployed into your case with operational protocols specific to the configuration the agent had been formed to address. The records describe this category of deployment as exclusive jurisdiction allocation. The agent is not shared. The agent is not rotated. The agent is not eligible for reassignment to other cases, because the agent's entire operational existence is woven around the configuration the agent was bara created for. When your case concludes its trajectory in the visible world, the agent's specific function concludes with it. The agent continues to exist. Bara creation is permanent, but the function the agent was created for is irreducibly yours. This means the proximity the agent maintains around your trajectory is not the proximity an ordinary Leiturgos maintains. It is closer. It is more attentive. It is configured for responses that ordinary agents are not authorized to perform because the agent was formed specifically for the configuration that required them. The Book of Psalms, chapter 91, verse 11, names the operational outcome at the standard layer. The text records the voice saying, "For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways." Read the verse carefully. The Hebrew word translated as charge is tzava, and at the standard layer of allocation it describes the assignment of existing agents to soul cases, but the verse is describing the standard allocation. Your case is not standard. Your case received bara creation. The Sava protocol that governs your case operates above the layer the verse is describing, because the agent governing your case did not exist when the verse was inscribed. The agent was bara formed in response to a configuration that the architecture had not previously encountered, and the protocols governing the agent's operation are configured for that specificity. You are walking under exclusive jurisdiction allocation. You are walking accompanied by a presence formed for your case alone. You are walking inside a category the architecture rarely produces. Touch not mine anointed. Let me describe one final layer, because without it, the picture is incomplete. When an agent is bara created for a soul case, the soul receives a record entry the records describe as a unique allocation attestation. The attestation is not transferable. It is not subject to revision. It is not subject to expiration. It is woven into the eternal archive with a finality that nothing in the operational substrate can revise, because the bara creation that produced the attestation occurred at the layer where revision protocols have no jurisdiction. You now carry a unique allocation attestation. This means that even your future moments that have not yet occurred, decisions you have not yet faced, situations the architecture has not yet finalized, are now being configured with the proximity of the agent factored into them. The agent enters the substrate of how your future will be arranged, modifying the arrangements at the layer they are arranged from. You do not need to perform anything to maintain the allocation. The allocation is not contingent on continued performance. The allocation is structural. It is now part of what your case is at the layer the eternal archive records. God created a new angel for you. The creation is permanent. The agent is operational. The exclusive jurisdiction is active. And the situations you are about to walk into were configured by the architecture to match the proximity the allocation established. Subscribe to this channel and turn on every notification, because the transmission that comes after this one has been prepared specifically for souls who have just learned that they have been bara allocated. The next sequence requires the foundation that was just established. Without this transmission, the next one would not produce its full effect. With it, the architecture is now active. For those who feel this transmission has reached you with the weight that recognition produces in the body, there is sealed material called the unplugging protocol that contains the practical activation of what has been disclosed. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment. The material includes the complete written transmission for the moments when the doubt returns, and you need to remember what was named tonight: a complete audiobook narrated in my voice, and 3 frequency sessions narrated by me from beginning to end. The frequencies and my voice operating together as one transmission. The first session, 396 Hz, dissolves the residue of the loneliness that landed before the allocation was operational in your perception. The second session, 639 Hz, stabilizes your awareness around the proximity of the agent. The third session, 963 Hz, calibrates your operation inside the exclusive jurisdiction protocols so the accompaniment reaches you at the depth it was formed to reach. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment. Click the video appearing on your screen now. There is a specific transmission that has been prepared as the next step for souls who completed this one, and the sequence that begins with the next video has been designed for cases that have walked through what you just walked through tonight. Together, we are stronger.